Hey, you know me, don't you? Sure you do. Hopefully. You're part of Weaver's strike team, right? My name's Maxis. I'm a friend. Sorry to start off with some bad news, but friends need to be honest with each other, so... I have reason to believe my communication channels with Weaver are compromised. I would say we do not know who is listening, but even an idiot could probably work it out. Russians. So, I will continue to make these recordings in the hope that they may find their way to you without interference. P.S. Good luck. I'm going to assume you can hear me, because the alternative is far too depressing to think about. I'm in the field, but not an actual field. That would be silly. It's a churchyard in Romania. Don't worry, there are no vampires. Even if there were, I have garlic. And weapons. To be perfectly clear with you, I have reason to believe the BND have been compromised. So, I have gone what some would term a little bit rogue. It pretty much means I'm operating without authorization or oversight. But since I've spent the last 7 years working alongside spies from both East and West, you can hardly blame me. Don't worry, I know my scorpions from my frogs. This experiment, end station. If I'm right, it may really be the turning point the Russians believe it to be. We have to stop them. I was the one. I'm the reason you're here. I gave Weaver the Russian intel about the site in Poland, and told him how much the Russians were interested in it. Right now I'm operating on the theory that they knew that there was something big here, an unnatural power that they could perhaps harness and turn upon their enemies. Something no nation could be prepared for. Wait, has Weaver even told you about the extent of the outbreak zones? Hate to break it to you, but this event isn't an isolated incident. Russian forces are mobilizing in multiple locations across the world, and right now you're weeks, if not months, behind them. I wasn't sure at first, but now I know who they are. Little-known offshoot of the KGB known as the Omega Group. I'd seen mention of their activities a few times over the years, but I'd never given it much credence. Up until recently. What the fuck is exoscience anyway? So right now, I'm looking at the big bad Russian boogeyman that we know as Omega. And then, on the other side, there's you. A CIA-backed department known as Requiem. You know much about them? Or do you just follow orders? I suspect the latter. And I thank you for your service. This isn't me ragging on your operation. God knows me and Weaver got a history and a whole lot in common. But there's always the question, the worry, of divided loyalties. Weaver's half Russian, I'm German. Who are you fighting in World War II? You sure you know who the enemy is now? This is a new landscape. None of this is what any of us are used to. I'm going to do my part while you do yours. I think there's a lot more to this than we know. I want you to know that I've been in your shoes. And you can trust Weaver. He's a good man to have in your corner. A good boss. Back in the 70s, West Germany was a major investor and supplier to Iran. In exchange for oil and gas, we propped up their steel industry and aided their nuclear power program. I was there in '79 when the revolution kicked off. Western intelligence agencies coordinated with the CIA to ensure the Shah's safe extraction to the US. But a lot of diplomats and citizens weren't so lucky. Me included. If it wasn't for Weaver's intervention and willingness to go off the books, I'd be a forgotten memory by now. Trust him. Trust me. For now, I'm going to have to go dark. I'm en route to meet a contact in Southeast Asia. He says he knows exactly what Omega Group is planning.
Code in. Access granted. Commencing recording. Code in. Access granted. Commencing recording. Code in. Access granted. Commencing recording.
It's late here in Berlin, and it's cold, so I'm going to make this brief. Everything is so much worse than I thought. Sorry, Weaver. How's your day going? I'm going to be frank. I'm not sure who the hell I can trust at BND. There's an atmosphere. People are leaving. New people are coming in. And I'm not sure how much choice any of them have in it. Point is, something seems to have everyone spooked and looking over their shoulder. Cold War paranoia. Who would have thought it? All I know for sure is there's a project file called End Station. I'm hearing that something has lit a fire under the KGB's metaphorical ass. Something they found out about End Station. There are, shall we say, extremists within their ranks that are pushing a new agenda. Their department thinks they might have uncovered something that could be a game changer for the Cold War. All I know for certain is that they've allocated a huge amount of resources to fund a ground operation in Poland. What worries me more is I have no idea who around me I can really trust. Some here may already be working with them. They may even be listening in. So, this is the last you'll hear from me. For a while. I'm starting to feel that the walls are closing in, if you get my meaning. 2 of my contacts have already been exposed. Well, I say exposed, but to be more specific, one started singing as soon as they were detained. The other fell out of a window. Before their untimely accident, they sent me a tape. I think it's what the new department is going after. End Station. An associate at the BND, maybe the last one I can trust, will ensure its delivery to you. Right now, I have no choice but to move and burn everything in my wake. Forgive my breaches of protocol, Weaver, but these times are unprecedented.